Hey, welcome to Guitar Knobs, the guitars, gear, noise, and nonsense podcast, hosted today by these knobs.
Tony Dudzik, Pick Guardian.
Hey everybody, it's me, Todd Novak. Welcome to the Guitar Knobs podcast. We are thrilled to death that you're listening to our show. It's going to be super exciting, just like all the ones before it. Maybe even more so.
Even the ones after it.
And the ones after it. We've got a very special guest on, and this is round trip number 3.
Yes.
Repeat. Hat trick.
Introduce yourselves, hat trick, sir.
I am Dave Jordan from Non-Human Audio.
Excellent, excellent. And where is Non-Human located for everybody that may not know?
I live and work in Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Very cool. And very hot.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, well, honestly, we're high elevation. So
More extreme.
No, less extreme.
By more, I mean less.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whenever Todd is wrong, it's always he's thinking the opposite.
Yeah, it's like a Vox or a rat pedal.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
The filter.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it does get hot here because it is a desert, but like we're actually a mile high. So that does keep it relatively livable.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like Phoenix.
That's a beautiful country, state. I was gonna, my head was going to say,
yes, the country of Albuquerque.
yeah, I was thinking part of the country, but I was like, well, no, it's not part. It actually is a state. I should probably say that. Oh,
Yeah.
brain, where are you right now?
We're far out there.
All right.
It's a lot of people forget we're a state.
Yeah. Well, let's move on.
Enough about geography.
Yes. Okay, so where can people go to check out these awesome pedals from Non-Human Audio?
As the previous 2 times, my most social media presence is Instagram, and that's just at Non-Human Audio, and then also nonhumanaudio.com.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much it.
All right. Excellent, excellent. We've got 2 pedals in front of us that are delightful and can really make some amazing sounds from your riggy poo.
This is true.
We're going to cover those in detail. I will tell you what they are right now, so if you guys want to look them up while we're talking, or at least one of them, because one of them isn't even... Well, actually, when you hear this, it will have just been launched.
Yeah, so you'll be able to see it.
Yes. The first one is the kimchi, and the second one is regrets.
Indeed.
Yes, we'll get all up into that. Dave, do you have any major announcements that doesn't have to do with... I thought I'd ask just to be polite since we just didn't,
Besides the pedal that just came out as people are listening to this.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. No?
You got 2 puppies. That's an announcement.
Oh, sure. Yeah. If that's the announcement. Yeah. Yeah. My girlfriend and I got 2 puppies. And they're good boys, but they're a bit of a handful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of puppies are they?
Well, so they're, we just call them New Mexico dogs. Because it's a very almost stereotypical type of dog that you'd find around here. Is that's just like a mutt of a lot of small dogs.
Okay.
Huh.
So
not a coyote or anything.
No, I mean you go back far enough, and
There's probably
they
some in
probably
there.
all have a little bit of coyote in them.
Yeah.
But yeah, so definitely they all kind of have Chihuahua, and one of ours we're pretty sure has a lot of Jack Russell Terrier in him.
Oh, wow.
Which, he's a hunter, that dog. He's like one of those dogs that, like, when he sees another dog down the street when we're on a walk, he is like locked in. And then it's like nothing else exists. He doesn't listen. He doesn't pay attention. He is just like locked on because he is just, yeah. But he's small. He's about the size of a football, and he weighs like 13 pounds.
Oh my!
Yeah. He's a little tank of a dog for sure.
I was like, that's a chunky monkey right there.
And then his brother kind of got the other side of the genetics, where he's kind of real wiry, and he's kind of tall, and he's real leggy, and he has small feet, and he weighs like 4 pounds less than his brother, even though they're litter mates.
That's crazy.
So it's like Chris and Dave from Tommy Boy.
Yes.
Okay.
Exactly.
Now we've got a visual.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well,
Todd, do you have any announcements this week?
I do actually.
Did you get puppies?
No.
He birthed puppies.
Yeah, I birthed puppies. No, we've got a couple of really cool things. Number one, I wanted to lead off with the bang real quick. As we've talked about, we've got things that we are giving away for our 10th anniversary, which is very, very exciting for us.
Brother.
And the first one
Numero uno
is one of the 2 old tapes delays from Sketchy Sounds.
Yes.
And this has got it's been knobified. So it's got the orange knobs on a white box with the black graphics, and this is just a really great pedal.
Yep.
And we just had Sketchy Sounds on. I think it was the last one I posted, actually.
I think so.
It was right before this. So if you were like, what the heck is Sketchy Sounds? Go back one and listen. This pedal, Tony,
Yes.
why don't you announce who this pedal's going to?
Well, I was so happy to pull this one out of the hat because he's a good buddy of mine. Kenny Howes!
Yes.
The Kenny Howes.
Yes. And aside from being a good buddy of yours,
Yes.
he is one of our grand poobahs.
He is a grand poobah.
Yes.
He is a excellent guitar and bass player.
Yes.
He is a Rickenbacker and Vox aficionado.
Yes. He's been on the show to talk about that aficionadities.
And I believe he's going to be coming back on in the not too distant future. Is that correct?
That is correct. That is correct. And as a reminder, all of the giveaways that we're doing, except for, I think, well, I don't know if that one's going to be. We have our super big one that we're going to be doing, and I'm pretty sure that I haven't defined the audience for that one yet. But all of the initial things that we're doing are going to our Patreon supporters, and we just thank you so much. Thank you, Kenny, and we have a whole bunch more stuff. So keep listening and keep your fingers crossed, and we want to make sure that we get this stuff out to as many people as we can as we have things. Okay? So, yay!
Yay!
And thank you, Sketchy Sounds, for putting that both of those pedals together. This is, again, one of 2. So we have one more of these to give away, aside from all the other things that we're going to be doing.
Indeed.
Congratulations on 10 years.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And
when's the actual anniversary?
April 18th.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So now we're in sort of delay land with, we recorded that, and then that one came out a week or 2 weeks later. Anyways,
we're celebrating multiple months.
We got like 10 weeks to give away at least.
Yes.
So
when you said you had some old tapes to give away, I thought you were talking about like the original podcast recording.
Oh, you're like, geez, thanks.
Yes. Yeah, we had some old reel-to-reels that.
Yeah,
way back when.
No, this is a really great delay pedal. It's from Sketchy Sounds, and it's the newest version, which has a bunch more functionality on it, and it's a great analog, sounding pedal, and yippity zippity doo dah. We're gonna dig it. The other thing was we've gotten a whole bunch of stuff, and I do want to share most of it, not all at one time. Don't worry, everybody. But I think it's worth sharing because these things, they mean a lot to us, and they clearly mean a lot from the people who are sending this stuff to us. This is from Lucas Janicki of LSJ Music Company. He said, "Hey, Todd, Happy 10 years for the guitar knobs. I celebrated 10 years last year for the store, and when I celebrated mine, you guys were right there in my thoughts, because I don't think my store would be shaped the way it is today without your guys' podcast. It was one of the first ones that I started listening to when I opened the store, and it got me really excited. What got me really excited about things that I wasn't excited about, and now that is the whole direction of my shop. At the end, with the episode of Dr. No, he said you inspire, and he said it's a kind of byproduct, but it was your excitement that made me excited to get into the gear that I wasn't even necessarily aware of, and got me excited to expect to sell it and make it my daily job in life. So I just wanted to say thank you for all the hard work you guys have done, and happy 10 years. Lucas, we thank you so much. That was you didn't need to take the time to write that, and I really appreciate you did. The sentiment came through loud and clear, and it's people like you and it's people like Dave on the phone. That's why we're doing this, and so we are all benefiting from everybody sharing their thoughts, their opinions, their smarts, their wisdoms, and their creativity. So thanks so much for sending that. We've got more that we'll be reading over the next couple of weeks that have been coming in, and it's such a great thing to share. I share them with Tony immediately. I share them with my wife. I share them with my kids. It's a byproduct that we never expected, this kind of sentiment, and we just are so grateful for it. Okay, let's talk about what's going on in our music worlds this week. Tony's going to kick us off. Then we're going to hear from our friend Dave.
Well, I'm glad you let me go first.
Well,
isn't that typically what we do?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I have to say I'm still on a bit of a jingle jangle buzz from last night. We've talked about them before. I love this band. They're called the Lemon Twigs. They're based out of New York. They happened to play last night here in Columbus.
Lemon is like a semi-mandatory word that you have to consider if you're starting a jangle band, and you need a name.
Really,
I feel like that. I
mean, a grapefruit probably wouldn't work.
No, but there's a lot. I mean,
even orange
and
orange it doesn't have enough syllables.
No, there's something about lemon that is jangly.
Yes, well, the Lemon Twigs in this case.
Yes.
So in this is my elevator speech for them. They are, let's say, kind of like the Beatles meets Brian Wilson meets the Monkees meets the Raspberries.
Right.
In other words, everything up my alley.
Yeah.
And I was, I'd seen some live videos.
All those really tough band names.
The Raspberries. You rapscallion.
Yes.
But these guys, I mean, they do have some pretty high soaring vocals. It's two brothers are really the main guys in the band, and they sing really high. I mean, and I was a little skeptical, thinking, live maybe
recording tricks.
Well, it could be recording tricks, but it was not recording tricks. These and their harmonies are just. They tour with two other guys, and damn, are they good. I mean, they just and live. I mean, I'm usually pretty critical if on the recorded version you hear.
Is it all original music?
All original music, yeah. And I mean, it's total power pop. Again, right up my alley.
Is it a nostalgia play, or is it like a modern with like, hey, you can hear some of the music history in our stuff, or are they standing there with like bowl cuts and striped shirts and stuff?
Well, yeah, I mean, both of the brothers have kind of Beatle cuts, so
okay.
So yeah, I think it is pretty nostalgic. I mean, but it's really good music.
That I'm not disqualifying that.
Yeah.
I was just trying to get a picture of what's going on, Tony.
Yeah. Well, just listen to them sometime. Yeah. I mean, there's some really good stuff. But I mean, the beautiful thing was, the one guy plays a Rick 450, and they're both playing through these beautiful Vox amps, and the other guy is playing was a Gretsch 12-string, and he was actually doing a lot of kind of lead runs on the 12-string. which is kind of unusual. But I mean, I just love them, and I had a great time.
Did you talk to him?
Nah, I wove. I waved. I wove.
You wove?
I woved at them.
Dave, have you ever said wove in your life, referencing how you salutated somebody?
It's the past tense of wave, is wove.
Yeah. All the time. Yeah. I woved at him.
I woved at him. I wove you.
Todd, you don't say that?
Todd is very weird.
Yes.
Yeah, but
you're the weird one.
yeah. But yeah, I mean, if you have a chance to see them, they're touring North America right now. I think they're going to be back in New York, and then they're heading to Europe for a little bit. But really cool stuff.
Yeah.
And
the music is good.
The music is outstanding, and it's
aside from their high soaring vocals.
Well, I mean, their
And
high soaring
harmonies.
vocals make it difficult to do live, and their harmonies.
Yeah.
And they did it. They did
Cool.
it. They did it live.
Got it. I'm tracking. All right.
Nice.
Very cool. Dave, how about yourself?
Well, I feel like the last two times I was on, when we got to this segment, I just kind of talked about stuff that I was listening to.
Mm-hmm.
And this time I'm going to mix it up.
Ooh.
I'm going to talk about Lawler pickups.
They were just on the show.
This will not be the last time I reference Woodwire Volts in Anaheim.
It shouldn't be.
But when I was there, I met Bob Reed, who works at Lawler, and we were having a good conversation. And before I even knew who he was and who he worked for, and through our conversation, he was just kind of like, "Yeah, if you want to check out some of our stuff, let me know, and we'll get you some stuff." And, of all the pickups I've played in my life, I'd never played a Lawler pickup that I was aware of.
Mm-hmm.
I've got Novaks, I've got Righteous Sounds, I've got Duncans, I've had DiMarzios. The Novaks are great, the Righteous Sounds are great, but Lawler has this reputation, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So I got a couple of sets for different guitars. I got a set of I think they call them the Special 52s, or maybe just the Lawler 52s for my Telly.
Yeah.
And I got a low wind Imperial for a Charvel.
Oh.
And I actually recently got some Lawlertrons for this Gretsch guitar. And they are so good that it makes me feel bad that I hadn't tried them sooner. the
Put that on a t-shirt.
Yeah, like the Telly that I put the 52s in had a set of Lindy Fralin blues specials in it.
Yeah, it's a good one.
Really good pickup. Really good pickup. But it was just kind of missing a little bit of the really kind of traditional Telly thing that I wanted. And, I actually wasn't even sure. Like the 52s were a suggestion from Bob, because I was just kind of like, hey, I'm just kind of looking to like give this Telly a little bit more life. He suggested those, and he was dead on. It's like they are the perfect pickup for that guitar. And like, I don't know, there's just a clarity to all of them. There's like for lack of a better term, like a tonal purity. Like the pickups really do feel like they match the guitars really, really well. And so that's kind of what's been going on in my, guitar gear world, is like, now I just kind of want to put Lawler pickups in all of my guitars.
I'm sure they'd be happy to hear that.
Yeah, I mean, when we had them on, I mean, as I said, I've never had a Lawler pickup that I didn't like in a guitar. I mean, they just, I don't know, must have some magic mojo going on over at the place, but I mean, and if you like humbuckers, I mean, their Imperials are probably, I'd stack them up against almost any other humbucker, whether, even the PAF style humbucker, and especially the low winds like you did. Those are particularly nice.
the clarity on it is just insane.
Yep.
You know? So yeah, obviously, and big thank you to Bob, because I'm very fortunate in that, like, as I've gotten to know some of these people, I get, you know, the homie deal, you know,
Yeah.
we'll call
Yeah.
it. So I get a little bit of a discount, and they've been very generous with me. And there's also a lot of I really, really appreciate that they're willing to do that, because not every company is willing to do that at all. But they're very much just like, no, we want people to play our pickups.
Yeah.
We want these to
the
get
point,
out there.
to that point, because you're gonna like, holy crap, I should put these in all my guitars.
Yeah.
And now I'm on a podcast talking about them.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and you know, it's so, yeah, Lawler pickups, man, just stellar, outstanding pickups.
That's a ringing endorsement. Tony asked me what I did this week.
Oh, Todd,
Yes.
Hey, Todd, what'd you do this week?
what's going on in your musical world this week? I forgot about you for a second.
Yes. Well, two small things. So Tony and I got those. We got matching.
Colonoscopies.
Oh my gosh, I forgot about that. Okay, wait a minute. Now I got to redo this. Well, since you mentioned that, this was really. So
Monday.
Well, Monday. I was sitting there. My daughter brought me to the doctor's office, and this isn't like, there's nothing wrong with this. This is what everybody should be doing, anyways. Hey, guys, seriously, especially. Well, we're mostly talking to guys, but I think especially this is guy stuff. But women need to do it too.
Everybody needs a good colonoscopy.
Needs to do it. Yes. So I'm sitting there with my daughter, who is just, helping me out because she had to be the driver. It's not something you want to be like, hey, ta-da, look where I am. It's just something you got to do in life. And I looked over and I shot my hands up, and Kate, my daughter, was mortified because she's like, Dad, what are you doing? Like, we're in the doctor's office. Why are you acting all goofy? And lo
and behold,
here comes Tony and his wife, who had just finished his. And I'm like, of all the gin joints,
that's true. It was very
it had
strange.
to be this one.
And I was still a little loopy from my my anesthesia.
Yeah. So that, and we were wearing our sweatshirts.
Yeah, we had matching. We were twinsies.
Yes. So then when it was my turn, I go back there and they're like, hey, we just had somebody in here with that. And I was like, yeah, it happens. Never. Who do you ever go like, oh, hey, no, actually I said, what are you doing here? And I'm like, wait, don't answer that. That was,
Did one of you guys recommend the doctor to the other one?
No,
it's
pure
just
chance.
Yeah, it's just like Ohio Gastro. That's like, I guess, one of the places you go. But it would mean they have multiple locations, and it was just
do like 80 people a day.
Oh yeah.
So for us, back to back was so random. Anyways, it was really funny.
But that's not the end of our matching things.
No. Oh, that's right. Yes, because I restrung the what are we calling these things? The Electras.
Yeah. No, they're not Electra.
Electros.
What is it?
You put it on.
Yeah, it is. It is Electro.
Electro.
Yeah.
It's the Electro guitar, which is we just newly rebranded those, but they're are the budget Rickenbackers that we each got. Style budget Rickenbacker style guitars that we couldn't not get because they were $100.
It was $100.
Come on.
Are these the ones that I've been seeing on Amazon?
This is the one.
People are buying?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Yes.
Proudly made in Vietnam.
Yes.
By happy Vietnamese people.
Yes, and we covered all this stuff before. So before you start throwing rocks, listen to an episode or two back where we talked about this. Anyways, I said, well, first thing I do is got to restring this because the strings on there, I'm pretty sure, are made out of steel wool. So
yeah,
I was restringing it, and I got about halfway through, and I realized that I had gone over You have to go like over and under this. But what's that thing? It's a bridge.
It's supposed to be like a hand rest.
It's a hand rest.
And everybody takes those off.
But I didn't. And I didn't even realize it was there because I've never had one of these things before. Mm-hmm. And so then I was like, well, got to redo this all over again.
Yeah.
Now, I could have loosened it.
Over the bridge, right? That's what you're talking about?
Yeah, because I didn't.
Everybody takes the cover off.
So, in retrospect, I could have probably just loosened the strings and then taken the cover off. But I was like, well, that's on there. What am I? Why would I take that off? I'm new to the Ricky thing. So,
as Dr. No would say,
not Ricky thing.
The only rules are
there are no rules. Yes. So I might have actually created a sitar on accident or something.
Well, yeah, you put an exceptionally high action on yours with zero intonation.
This thing's awesome for slide. Yeah. Yes. So that was good. That was good. Anyways, okay, let's get on to the good stuff. First, before we get on to the good stuff.
Yes.
In none of that did we actually talk about pedals.
Oh,
but if we did,
yes,
we would have to recommend using Tour Gear Designs patch cables for whatever we're talking about. And
obviously,
we're about to talk about those pedals, so why don't we just apply that to these pedals?
Oh,
if you were to get your non-human audio pedals,
yes,
the best thing to connect them with is Tour Gear Designs patch cables.
I agree.
It's very simple. Go to the website, load up your cart, all the different sizes, all the different orientations. You're going to hit purchase. You're going to get a box, and it's going to say, do you have a coupon code? You're going to say, yes, I do, because I listen to the show. And it's going to say, the guitar knobs, all one word. And how much are you going to save, Tony?
I believe it's still 15%.
Still 15%. Get on that. Get that while it's hot. And we can't thank you enough, Tour Gear, for sponsoring our Four on the Floor.
Let me get a little bit of this.
1, 2, 3. Four on the floor. All right. Dave Jordan, non-human audio. What is your Four on the Floor? V3.
All right. So I do have to bend the rules a little bit because this first one I don't actually have yet.
It's okay.
But
it's must-have, and you decided that you must have it, so it's on their way to have it.
I needed to shout these guys out because I consider them all dear friends, and what they've finally put out into the world, I feel like, is a landmark piece of equipment.
Oh, boy.
And that is the Chase Bliss and Electronic Audio Experiments Big Time.
Yes.
I know how much work that they've been putting into it. They've been working on this pedal for 6 years. There were a few spots along the way where it almost didn't even happen. And the fact that they got it over the finish line and the fact that it, by all accounts, is just really an amazing piece of equipment. I'm just so proud of all of them. And like, I can't wait for it to show up. I'm super excited about it. I don't know that I've ever pre-ordered a pedal before, but I had to. And, I can't wait to get my hands on it. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's,
yes.
The third pedal now in the Chase Bliss Automaton series. So it's got the flying faders, and it looks incredible. And all the sounds I've heard sound incredible. I can't wait to get my hands on it and just like dive into that thing.
When does it get there?
It's supposed to start shipping in June. So,
okay. So yeah, they're loading up. They're front loading this.
Yeah. So it's not too much of a pre-order, but basically they got it to the point where like it was done, but they were just, ironing out the last little bits of it, doing the final testing before shipping and everything.
Man. So this is, for those, you want to tell them a little bit about what it is?
Yeah, so this is a collaboration between Chase Bliss and Electronic Audio Experiments. It is kind of like their love letter to 80s rack delays, but with the Chase Bliss flair to it, and with John Snyder from Electronic Audio Experiments, like, perfect grasp of analog technology. So John worked on the analog parts of the circuit, which were like, the preamp, and it's like a true stereo preamp, and but then they threw all the Chase Bliss sauce at it. So it can be kind of glitchy, and it can be a looper, and it can do pitch effects by modulating the the record and playback times of the delay lines, and like it just you can adjust the delay times as short as like 3 milliseconds, so you can use it as like just like a chorus pedal, or like a vibrato pedal, because you have full control over the modulation. And like it's kind of staggering how much stuff they put into that box.
It's going to take some learning to it a bit too, huh?
Yeah, I love Chase Bliss, and I think I have. I'm pretty sure I have all of their production line pedals and a bunch of the old ones that have been discontinued and everything. But every single one, when I get it, I need to sit down with the manual for a little while, and just because also their manuals are excellent. Shout out to my friend Eric Neifler, who is their graphic designer. But their manuals are incredible, but like I need them because there's so much in there that I kind of need a little hand holding of kind of like, well, maybe start here and then start to experiment rather than just going for it. So
yeah, it looks incredibly impressive. And I'm sure that everybody who has the predecessor to this is probably just absolutely beyond. Like, there's another one.
Yeah. The last one. It's been a while. I think that the CXM, which was the one they did with Maris.
Yeah, the vintage studio verb.
Yeah, that was 4 or 5 years ago.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
And then there's the preamp MK. Well, the preamp. Yeah.
Yeah. The Mark II, the
one. Yeah, just incredible stuff. That's very cool that you got one. Indeed.
Yeah, I had to. I mean, I was pretty sure I was going to, but I also was kind of okay with waiting a little bit. Like, I didn't feel the need to order it right away. And then the day it released, Chase Bliss also always does great marketing materials. They do like mini documentaries about these pedals and the, walkthroughs of the features and everything. And I was watching the mini doc for this one, and I honestly was just so overcome with like the good feelings of seeing like my friends accomplish this thing and work together that I had to. I was just like, I can't not support these guys. Like, they deserve it,
That's cool.
tenfold. So
that is excellent. Doggone it. Well,
yeah, I'm really excited.
What's number 2, paling in comparison? Hopefully not, but
so number 2 is a pedal from a newer company called Enduring Audio.
Okay.
It's this guy, Randy, who's kind of new on the scene, but he's already doing some like really, really cool stuff. He put out a pedal called the Fell Runner, which was kind of his take on the old Roland Bebop fuzz. You guys are familiar with that? Like, this is like,
the Bebop.
Yeah, the very, very early Roland pedal, predating Boss kind of thing. And it's just a great fuzz pedal. It's super fun. Randy just kind of came out of the gate swinging, and he's put out a bunch of stuff, and it's all really fantastic. He just put out a great flanger. But I'm such a sucker for a good fuzz that, like, I had to get my hands on this one, and it's just one of those like really fun pedals. Tony, I know you're not a huge fuzz guy, but
but it does have its place.
Yeah. So that one, that's shout out to Randy.
Cool, man. Let's see, number 3.
So number 3 is a pedal by a company called Audio Cultivation Project, and it's the Seventh Son, which so we were all in Richmond, Virginia for an event that was on 3/14. It was on March 14th.
Mm-hmm.
So being quote unquote Pi Day, a whole bunch of us made limited Big Muff variations for the show.
Mm-hmm.
This one is Zach's from Audio Cultivation Project. Zach is 24 years old.
Wow.
And he is doing just some really, really cool and really interesting stuff.
It's very aesthetically interesting too.
Yeah, he's got a great, consistent aesthetic from pedal to pedal. He's incredibly intelligent. And he's 24.
Yeah, but where will that get you in life?
He's 24. Like, there's times where I've been hanging out with Zach and I'm just like, dude, I am old enough to be your father.
I'm your father, Luke.
Like, how are you this good at this already?
Right.
And so, yeah, at its core, the Seventh Son is a Big Muff variation, but it's really well tuned. He did really interesting things with the tone control, and he added an octave control that you can blend in. And it comes in a huge enclosure, and it looks great. It sounds great. It's loud, which I love. So yeah, Audio Cultivation Project's Seventh Son. I'm not sure how available those are. I think he's still kind of doing them in small batches, just kind of seeing how they do.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, if you're a Big Muff guy at all, it's absolutely worth checking out.
Okay. That is another solid endorsement. I imagine that he's probably got like a sign-up thing or, like a... Maybe not. Not everybody's got... Yeah, you just give him a call. Or contact him via his website, as most people do.
Yeah.
Excellent. All right, man. Well, thank you for that. That was a pretty nice list. That
We
was
got
4,
one more,
right?
though. That was only 3.
Why does it feel like we talked about 4? You're right. Go.
Okay, so I do have to actually kind of break the rules on this last one, too.
Do it.
Because this pedal
Break them.
is not...
Break the rules.
This pedal is not really available.
Oh.
So my friend Ben, who works with Philippe at Caroline Guitar Company, Philippe is Caroline, but Ben is his like director of operations. Basically, he's like the other guy.
Mm-hmm.
Ben got married fairly recently, and as a like wedding favor for his wedding party, and he also made some that were available to just some other friends. He made a variation of their Hawaiian pizza pedal called the Wedding Cake. And it's pink, and it's, it's got slightly different transistors in it. So it does sound a little bit different, but it's redesigned to like look like a big piece of pink wedding cake. And I love the Hawaiian pizza. I've got a couple of the different variations, but I had to have this one because I love Ben so much that like, I felt honored that I even had the chance to like get this pedal and like give him a little bit of money for his wedding and his honeymoon and everything. And so congratulations to Ben. I love the Wedding Cake. I love him. But as a side to this one, we'll call this 4 on the floor. Like, yeah, it's the Wedding Cake, but it's also the Hawaiian pizza. Because at this point they've done, I don't know, maybe a dozen different versions of the Hawaiian pizza. And every single one I've played is great. They're all it's a super fun pedal. It's a great chewy fuzz overdrive kind of thing. And so, yeah, we'll call it a Hawaiian pizza / wedding cake 4 on the floor.
Dig it. That's great. So what I love about the lineup that you just shared with us is that they all have some sort of sentimental tie-in to either your own experience, someone else's experience, friends, all kinds of stuff. And they're all very unique, and none of them have been. These are all first timers on the 4 on the floor. Yeah. So very cool. Thank you.
Nobody's talked about the Hawaiian pizza before?
Nope.
Wow.
I know.
Yeah, love the Hawaiian pizza. That is great.
Wait a minute. There might have been that. I'd have to go back into the annals and find that, but that might have come up on
the previous 450 episodes.
Yes,
we start to lose track.
I'll
after
get right
a
on
while.
that. Well, we got a pretty good memory with stuff, but no, you're right. That one probably has been on at least once, but maybe not much more than that. But that's cool. We all get to learn new things, and this is great. Let's talk about these awesome pedals in front of us.
But wait,
what?
Perhaps if we had mentioned that this is Dave's 3rd time visiting with us.
Yes.
If those who are interested want to go back in time a little bit, they can go back to his first visit at episode 384, which was in December of 2024. And the last time on was episode number 445, which was November of 25.
Ooh.
So there we go.
Outstanding.
So welcome to number 3.
We're cutting down the time between episodes.
Well, if that's a problem, then you got to stop putting cool stuff out, man.
Yeah, really, quit it.
I mean, I was just
quit doing that.
We keep cutting it in half. Before long, I'm going to be on this thing twice a week.
You might be a host.
we wouldn't be pissed. Okay, now one of these has been out for a little while.
Yes.
But we didn't talk about it last time, and the other one is brand spanking new. Like you literally will have just released this like days before people hear this.
Correct.
Let's start with the kimchi.
Let's do it.
Yeah. Now, before you say anything about this, one of the things that I love that you do that I know lots of people put stuff in it, but you have a different angle on this, slightly different. This kimchi says, "I am forever, and I hope you have a nice life."
Yeah.
Okay. What would tell me about that? There's also another one that I can barely read. But
the other one says worm can.
Yeah, there's one below that too. No, I'm not gonna call it a fermented fuzz.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it was worm bag. Sorry.
Yes, worm bag. Okay, so help us out with all 3 of those.
Okay, so we'll start with the fermented fuzz thing.
Mm-hmm.
I knew naming the pedal kimchi, somebody was going to suggest I call it that.
Yes.
Because
Tony for sure would have.
I was, because, and you guys have played it, so you know what I'm talking about here. I was kind of struggling with how to classify it.
Yeah.
Because it does the very like chimey transistor drive. It does kind of an aggressive transistor drive, but then it also, you get up past noon on the gain control and it becomes almost a different pedal.
Yes.
It's a very square wave zippery fuzz.
Yeah, it starts to compress quite a bit.
Yeah, a ton. So like I wasn't really sure what to call it, and I even did an Instagram like whole chime in question and answer thing to like let people give me suggestions. Mm-hmm. And I just knew calling the pedal kimchi, somebody was going to say it's a fermented fuzz. And that just felt too silly for me.
Yeah.
It's just like, I get it, but like, it's just not how I present my company. It's not how I present my vibe. And it's like, I'm a fairly light-hearted person, but I do take myself and what I do pretty seriously.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what that one came from. Worm bag. Sometimes it's hard to name a pedal. And sometimes I will tag in friends to kind of help me talk things out, throw ideas back and forth. So I was doing that with my best friend with the kimchi specifically. And I knew how I wanted the title to be laid out on the pedal. So I was like, got a roughly enough space for 4 letters and 3 letters, 3 letters and 3 letters, that kind of thing. I knew kind of what it was. So we were just throwing ideas back and forth. One of the ones I threw out was worm bag, which doesn't mean anything. I was just searching for words that fit. And I just thought that one was really funny. So I put it on the PCB. And then the phrase, I honestly don't know. I don't have an explanation.
That just came to you?
Well, so as a songwriter and as a person that needs to write lyrics and name things, I have notes in my phone of just phrases that sound good. Mm-hmm. And sometimes they will be things I hear, or they will be things that come to me inspired by things I hear. And I think that one was just one of those. Like, I don't remember if I actually heard it somewhere. I don't think so. It also may have been 2 different phrases that I put together. Mm-hmm. Like, I may have been like looking in my note and just been like, I am forever, and I hope you have a nice life, may have been next to each other in the note.
That's just great.
That looks good. And just put that on there.
That's that's Robert Smith from the Cure. That's how he approaches not all his lyrics, but he has said in interviews, like, it literally has like a bowl, like a fish bowl kind of thing, that he just writes stuff down and puts it in there, and whenever he's stuck. And that, I think that's where he was talking about Head on the Door.
Yeah.
It was, and he reached in and he goes, the head on the door was Dream. He goes, yep, that'll work.
I've got 2 things to say about that. One, The Cure is one of my favorite bands of all time. I have a Cure tattoo. Robert Smith is like huge inspiration for me. So if it's good enough for him, it's good enough for me.
What kind of Cure tattoo do you have? Now I'm curious. Is it him standing with the guitar or t-shirt thing?
No.
Oh.
So are you familiar with the cover art for Disintegration?
Yes.
So on Disintegration, Robert's face is there, and kind of right below his chin, there's this like flower thing. Mm-hmm. It's not necessarily a very clear flower, but it's a visual that's some kind of like floral motif thing. Mm-hmm. And I have that.
Cool.
Because of the shape it was, and I wanted to get a Cure tattoo, but I wasn't sure what it was, and then I kind of saw that, and I was like, that's a good one. And if anybody recognizes that, then like I know that they're like a real head.
Yeah.
Because I mean, Disintegration is easily one of, if not my favorite record of all time. Like, I think it's perfect. The second point to the fishbowl thing is,
yes,
that is also how Tom York wrote all the lyrics to Kid A, I believe, and maybe even Amnesiac as well. It was that kind of just like refrigerator poetry style.
Yeah. I think a lot of people do that.
Yeah.
And I think that's okay. I mean, I've done that with my own band. I have stuff I'll send Leah, our singer. I'm like, I'm not putting him in a fishbowl and writing him and picking up 10 years later. We're like, ooh, bang. Here's a phrase. Or this feels like it could be a song based on this phrase. Let's do something with this. It's a little bit different, but that spirit is still there. It doesn't have to be it doesn't have to be an essay, No. You have to.
No, and honestly, it speaks to kind of like the emotional potential of music in general, because like I tend to write like nonsense lyrics. Like, not full nonsense, not speaking gibberish, but like I said, I have just a notes app that's just running of phrases, and that's my fishbowl filled with phrases.
No, that's cool.
And you can string these things together, and then without even realizing it, you're actually crafting something with emotional resonance that wasn't even necessarily intentional.
Well, good things for all of us to consider.
Indeed.
Yes. And now let's get into what the pedal does.
Yeah.
Right?
That was a
Yeah, but no, I mean, this is
real good tangent.
fun to talk about this stuff. Like, you put it in here for a reason. You know, might as well ask.
Well, you know, it's like every part of the pedal can be some kind of artistic expression, right? And that's why the kimchi PCB is red and has red wires. It's in a red enclosure. And it's like, it's all part of the aesthetic, right? It's like, how many people have actually opened it up to look at it? Well, I don't know.
Well, but it's open right now for us.
Ones that do open it, they get a little something extra. You know?
All right, everybody who's driving, if you have never opened one of your pedals, raise both hands. Don't do that. Please don't do that. Yeah, and I think it's cool because it's just, it's a little personal thing. That's the whole fingerprint thing that we talk about constantly on the show. You could open that up. I mean, I think it's kind of like, you're like, if you open it up and there's not something from the maker, like some little something. It doesn't matter it doesn't have to be the most prolific thing, or it could be a doodle of a fat little dog.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah. Anyways, okay. What does this thing do? Who is this for?
Yeah, so the kimchi came about. It was just an idea I had. And I talked about this in the manual where, like, I've looked at a lot of schematics and I've designed a fair amount of pedals that have come out. I've messed around with a lot of pedals that haven't come out. And there's a way that you kind of like build circuitry around a transistor to get it to work. And there's different ways that you can adjust the gain of a transistor. And I had never seen somebody kind of exploit this very specific part of the transistor circuit topology. And I didn't know why. And I just, I was like, does it not sound good? Does it not actually really work? Like, this seems like something that would be cool to exploit, but like, why not? So I tried it and it sounded cool. And then I just kind of built the pedal around that idea. And obviously there's a lot more to the circuit than that, but it, by adjusting this specific resistor, essentially, that changes the gain, you get all the way from just like, the very kind of like glassy transistor drive, where it's like kind of chimey and kind of bright, all the way to just this like almost like roaring drive, and then pushing it even past that, like totally over biasing the transistor to the point where it's like just a square wave, like zipper fuzz. And that range of usability I found really, really exciting. Because for one of my bands, I use it always on with the gain just off. Because
That's what my setting was in our practice last week. Yeah. But honestly, I turned the gain all the way down, and it was still it had loads of character.
It gives it an interesting character. It gives it some grit and some texture, and it's still very loud. So it like boosts really well. It like really works with your amp, and I just like how the guitar sounds with the pedal on. Even if it's not even really doing that much in terms of drive or fuzz. Because I like that character that it has.
Now, if you have the gain all the way down, you're still getting you're still getting something from that, or is it? I mean, just a whisper of it. Yeah.
Yeah, you're still getting a little bit of the character, but then as you start turning the gain up, you can kind of like feel the pedal like come alive, like open up. Then it becomes this like really textural drive, and then you keep going, and then that's when it just starts to like squash out on you.
Yeah. Well, and I think in that exploration, it is important to note the volume has a colossal effect on this.
Yeah.
Very, very interactive. There's only 3 controls. It's volume, tone, and fuzz, gain. Are you calling it a fuzz or a gain? I think it's
gain.
Yeah, fuzz gain. Whatever.
I think they call it the gain in the manual. Mm-hmm. To be honest, I haven't looked at the manual.
Yeah.
In a while.
And so when you're just looking at it, you're like, okay, how complex is this going to be? The difference between the integration, the integrate. What am I trying to say?
Interactivity?
The who?
The interactivity?
No, the steps between like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Like you know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Tony's just looking at me, just like, no, I'm just gonna until your head goes under. I'm not gonna throw you
I'm gonna throw you a shovel.
Jeez. What I'm trying to say is like every step along the way on that potentiometer is you have a load of potential. So sitting there going, you're not going to know what this thing does.
No, you have to be subtle.
Yes, subtle.
Yeah. Yeah, and I think it's with the gain all the way down, it's almost like a preamp.
Mm-hmm.
You're just getting a gain stage in there, but without. So you're getting some character and you're getting some life. But you get it roaring, and it'll almost do like the tweed thing, where it's like real mid forward and kind of squashed.
Yeah, and it's starting to squash out for sure.
Feels like you're overloading it,
The thing that, and I actually sent you a video of this, is when I plugged in and first started going, it felt very much at home, because I have said this many times on the show. I like when I can get enough clarity, enough articulation, like in the higher strings, to where specifically the higher strings to get that chime, right? Mm-hmm. But I also need it to feel just like it's just a bit unhinged at the same time, without making all of that sound the samey. This gives you a lot of separation in sound, depending on how your pick attack and where the volume's at. And that's what I was like, oh wow, this pedal gets me.
Yeah, it's very dynamic, and part of that is because the gain stage that I'm exploiting as the gain control, like I was saying, that functionality that I didn't think I had seen anybody use, is actually the third gain stage in the pedal.
Oh.
So before you even get to that, you already have a bunch of circuitry that you're kind of working with and is reacting to what you're doing. And that kind of helps it be really dynamic, because you're not just slamming the gain stage that is generating the drive.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you're working with a lot of the pedal before you even get to that stage. So that's why with the gain down, you're still getting a lot of character, because there's still so much of the pedal that's already working.
This is going to be one of those things where Tony's picking up a rock. This reminds me of this Yugoslavian wedding that I went to one time. Okay. I'd never been to a Slavic wedding before. It was literally in the Slavic Cultural Center in Long Beach, California. Okay.
They have such a thing?
Yes.
Huh.
And so it's like a big, like, town hall kind of thing, but it's for all the Slavic communities. But anyways, big round tables. They had Slavic band playing like traditional music, and we were sat at a table with a whole bunch of older ladies that could barely, like, the communication thing was not was a little troublesome. And we didn't know what to do. We were just sitting there, and all of a sudden, these people just come in with food, crazy food. And I'm thinking, this is great. You know, look at all this food. And I'm killing it. And they're very happy, these ladies. They're like, oh, look at this boy. He's eating like a good boy,
Yeah,
right?
That's right.
And then there was it was, people didn't eat all this. I was hungry. I'm like, can I have yours? And so I'm eating all that. And then came another one, like 10 minutes later, and there was another one. I was like, oh, shoot, there's more food? But they couldn't tell me because they couldn't speak English. And so I was like, well, I'm still hungry. I'm going to eat all this stuff. And so those are the first two gain stages. But then the third gain stage
is the cookie
that's
table.
the big one that came out. And I was like, oh, my gosh. And that's when I stopped, when I kind of was like chilling on eating that stuff. They're like, oh, eat. So that's what you just remind me of that.
Yeah. Well, there you go.
Fair enough.
He didn't throw a rock at me, thank goodness.
No, that's okay. You didn't say anything disparaging about the Slavic community.
Why would I? My last name is Novak. Right?
Food
Come
is love.
on. Yeah. Anyways, okay. Sorry. Sorry for that.
Wow, yet another tangent.
Well, it was appropriate.
Well, I'll give you that. That was
Yeah,
it was a nice not alliteration, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Think of the word for that.
I'll think of it.
I'll let you swim out there for a bit. All right, Dave. So, who do you think that this feels like a pedal at first glance, and how you framed it up? I think the first time we were talking, I'm like, that sounds like it's just going to be like too much for me. Honestly, like when you were first explaining this to me, but when I got it, I was like, whoa, this is not what I expected. I found that to be a good surprise, but so I'm encouraging people to like give this thing a shot. This is a really, really, really good drive pedal.
Oh yeah, I mean, I agree, and as we said earlier, I'm not a huge fuzz fan, but the one thing that I have discovered,
It doesn't feel like you're plugging in a fuzz, though.
no,
That's
it doesn't, and I think that's probably because of the various gain stages and things.
Mm-hmm.
But I find that for me, if I turn a fuzz down a lot,
Mm-hmm.
I can use it as a drive pedal.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in this case, which is kind of cool, I didn't realize there were 3 gain stages in here. I just thought you were starving or feeding, all the transistors. But now that you explain that, it makes a lot more sense. But yeah, it is. It's a very dynamic, interactive pedal, and so as they say, amp-like. Playing like that, but it does do some cool things, and I do find it. I found it to be a pretty useful, especially in the in the turn down stages.
Yeah.
For me now,
It sounds like your amp is like flying down the hill with their foot on the brakes, but the brakes are just burning up.
yes, red hot.
Yeah. Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Now, on to maybe the other end of the spectrum with regrets.
Yeah.
This is a 5-knob. What would you call this pedal?
Well, it is a reverb.
Mm-hmm.
And, we were talking a little bit on mic, but before recording, of kind of where this lands because, speaking of the kimchi, I described the kimchi as being a textural fuzz drive. And Regrets is a reverb that has a lot of texture and movement in it. But, we were talking about how the kimchi came to be named and how sometimes you're just throwing ideas out there. And Regrets was interestingly kind of one of those. I had a name, but I didn't love it. And I was just talking to a friend of mine, and she was like, well, why don't you, what does the pedal sound like? Why don't you let me hear it? And I sent it to her. I sent her a clip, and she said that like it felt like yearning, longing, and like kind of nostalgic.
Mm-hmm.
And that kind of blew my mind, because I was, as a designer, we want a name that fits the sound, but so often it's kind of like, well, what does it sound like?
Right.
How does the name match what it sounds like? And my friend Kelly heard this sound and she immediately thought like, well, what does this sound feel like? And just through that conversation of talking about like nostalgia and like these like past associations, and obviously reverb is a thing that kind of carries a lot of emotional association with it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it does kind of create this atmosphere and create this vibe. We kind of landed just through the conversation on the word regrets, and it just kind of felt like it worked. And then, second time bringing up Woodwire Volts, my friend Rio was there. Rio runs Gizmo Music in Japan, and he is one of my dealers. And he was playing the pedal, and he speaks English, but he's a native Japanese speaker. And he stopped playing and he kind of looked up at me and he's like, it kind of sounds, I don't know how to say it, nostalgic. And I was like, that's crazy. I was like, how did you land on that exact same thing? Just without any prompting, with like, he felt it the same way, which I was kind of blown away by.
It feels like,
yeah.
based on a lot of Japanese culture, like they have amazing phrases and words that mean very deep things, and also not some so deep, but they've got a word for people who collect books but don't read them. Like there's actually like a word or a phrase for that. So I'm sure that they have something that it would, in a single word, would encapsulate the things that you're talking about. Yeah. When you were talking to me, that just sounded like memories, like when with no necessarily bend on how good or bad they are.
And that's actually
to be able to sit with your memories. When you do that, you get into just a little bit of a head swirl and a little bit of contemplation, and it's a place to sit.
The interesting thing is that nostalgia itself isn't inherently positive. We tend to give it a positive spin, but just it's a longing for something that you've lost, kind of. It could be a positive thing, like, oh, I really miss having this thing, or I loved this thing when I was a kid, but it's not necessarily always positive. Just be that kind of like feeling, and so I made a reverb pedal that accidentally feels like that.
Yeah. Well, this has got a lot of subtleties to it too.
The core of this too is actually kind of comes from a similar thing as the kimchi. Is how I actually approach a lot of my designs is, I take something fairly familiar. In this case, Regrets is built around a Belton brick, which is what a lot of reverb pedals are made out of. But there was something about it that I was kind of like, how come nobody has tried this before? So I tried it, and that's the top right knob, which is the voltage sag, which is actually kind of similar to what I do in the Slow Loris, which is underpowering a delay chip. Well, a Belton brick is just 3 delay chips and some surrounding architecture. So I'm voltage starving the whole system. And that kind of is what ends up giving it a lot of texture and a lot of movement, because it's just slowing everything down, and you kind of start to hear the individual repeats in the delay or in the reverb, but like they're still fairly obscured, and kind of lengthens the time out a bit and makes it a little darker and a little bit more resonant. And all of that actually just adds to the feeling and the vibe of the whole experience.
I think maybe, I don't know how intentional this is, but the orientation of the knobs as well. They're in a circle. And there's something about that is, it's a little nonconformist when it comes to, you know, a pedal layout. And now it's not a true circle, but when I saw it, oh, this is a circle. There's a lot of psychology that goes into like the shape, like the actual circle shape, and why we're drawn to it. Why we find that to be different feelings get evoked when you work with circles and things are in a circle. And that's the first thing that I noticed about the pedal. I was like, oh, it stopped it from being do this first for me. And I'm not saying everybody's going to have the same experience, but I kind of got like, oh, this is an exploration pedal.
Yeah. Well, you know, that's kind of part of my whole approach too, is like, yeah, I don't label my knobs, and some of that is just because of how I do my enclosure finishing. But a byproduct of that is it kind of forces experimentation, and it forces exploration in that way. And on something like the reverb, you know, besides the blend knob, the other four knobs all work together. You know, the voltage sag is going to change how the time works. And the tone is going to change how the diffusion feels. And so, yeah, kind of putting them all, you know, I mean, that's part of the challenge of designing a pedal too, is you want something to feel cohesive, you know, and to feel like it's all intentional in that way. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad that like your first instinct was like, oh, this is all about kind of exploration, because, you know, I feel like something like a reverb pedal is kind of suited to that anyway.
Exactly. Well, you were talking about, you know, feeling intentional and stuff, and I think one of the things that I'm drawn to with your pedals, especially, you know, I'm looking at he's got the regrets, and I've got the kimchi in my hand, and you have done a fantastic job of making an instantly recognizable pedal. You know who built this.
Yep.
That is very difficult to do.
Yep.
And I think we've talked about that before, but you know, and especially in my day job, that is a massive thing to accomplish. And the other thing about it is that no two are alike because of how you approach your paint and everything.
Yeah.
And when you're talking about, and you remove the knobs or remove the labels, that doesn't feel like you left something off. It does feel like intentional, because all the paint and everything is very organic, and but it doesn't look unintentional. And a lot of things that can feel chaotic, you know, like I'm going to make this cool and chaotic, can feel incredibly unintentional and quite frankly sloppy or lazy. And somehow you have masterfully done the exact opposite, but still making it feel that this pedal is my own interpretation of whatever this is supposed to be.
Yeah. Well, thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you. I really
it's
appreciate
just some of the subtle things that if you don't play with these pedals and you don't take into consideration some of these choices that you've made, frankly, I think you're kind of missing out, because it does enhance the experience of the pedal and your interaction with it.
Yeah, you know, I really appreciate that, and you know, I know we've definitely talked about this on my previous episodes of just like, the importance of making people excited to play something visually. You know, like, yes, we hear with our ears, but with guitar pedals, we hear with our eyes first. You know, we don't even know what a pedal sounds like, but if we see one that looks intriguing, we want to know what it's doing or what it does. So yeah, that's always been really important to me. And I'm glad you touch on the consistent aesthetic and the brand identity and everything. That's obviously also been very important to me. I mean, that's my day job. I'm a web designer, so I've always worked in some form of like marketing and brand identity and everything is something that I'm very clued in on, and I know how important that is. So yeah, that's why like pretty much everything is, pretty consistent, as consistent as I can make it,
Yeah, without being sterile or every pedal's unique. And at the end of the day, as collectors, we want serial number 001. We want the colorway. We want the one from the wedding. It's like, because you want something that's like, hey, this is my unique connection with this builder or in my pursuit of collecting these things. And you do that simply by your approach of building the pedals and how you handle the aesthetics. And I think that that can be easily lost if you're not kind of like open to that experience. That's my thoughts anyways.
Yeah. Well, thank you. Yeah, I really appreciate that.
Okay, you are constantly making new things. Do you have anything that you can kind of hint, maybe things that you're doing on the horizon? That sounded like a hard no.
I mean, I always kind of have like 2 or 3 things that are like could be released.
Yeah.
Like that are pretty much done. And I never really know exactly what's going to be next. So I have a few things that I've been working on. But I don't know. I don't know what's going to be next. It all kind of depends on how the reverb does and what that ends up being in terms of a commitment, in terms of timeline and everything. And I would say most likely my next release will be some kind of a drive pedal, but it might not be.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll see.
That's okay.
I will say that I have another kind of drive pedal that's like almost like a dirty filter kind of thing. That's pretty much done. I'm pretty happy with it. But I also have another pedal that's pretty much done that is much more on the like weirder side of things.
Okay.
And then, I'm kind of in constant maybe we should collaborate talks with a lot of my friends.
That's cool.
And I love doing that. Like I loved working with Chris on The Florist. I just think that's a really fun experience, and it's something that's really special about our industry that we can do that. Whether or not any of those will pan out is kind of impossible to say. Sometimes they obviously do. Sometimes they don't. But I don't know. Yeah, we'll see.
Well, in the meantime, people still have plenty of awesome pedals to explore, try out, buy, collect, all those things.
And by the time you're hearing this, you can go to the website and get your own Regrets pedal.
That's correct.
Check it out.
Yes, you can.
You know, when we asked you that and you said, right? The first thing I thought of was, see, when Darren would bust Sam from Bewitched, is like, you didn't do that, did you? And she's like, well, that's exactly what I imagined.
Yeah.
Anyways,
I mean, you know, the thing is like I like to hype things up. I like to tease things. I like to let people know what's coming.
Mm-hmm.
But I just don't know what's going to be next.
Yeah.
At this point, so.
Well, we appreciate you just putting out a little bit. That's cool. That's enough for us to be going, okay. Well, when that day does come, we know that we'll be talking to you again.
Yeah.
Cool. Number four.
Numero 4.
Yes.
Quattro.
Tony.
Yes, Todd.
What have you got for us?
Oh, have we rounded third and heading home?
Yeah.
Would you rather?
Oh, that's what time it is.
Yes.
It's Would You Rather.
Would You Rather
the
time.
game that everyone loves to play.
Yes.
Tell them what they win, Johnny.
Right.
This week's Would You Rather. Mm-hmm. You are, let's just say you went to a jingly jangly
A jingle jangle show.
poppy show.
Yes.
And he's got that
Also the name of the two elves in A Year Without Santa Claus.
Jingle and Jangle?
Jingle and Jangle.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Anyways, go ahead.
Ah, that explains a lot.
Sorry.
What?
To get Todd his meds. Anyways.
So you've got that sound in your ear. And you know the only way you're going to be able to reproduce that is with a 12-string electric guitar, right?
Uh-huh.
So you're heading down to the local guitar store.
Mm-hmm.
And you're just like, holy moly, these things are kind of expensive.
Yeah.
So you're a little down in the dumps.
Mm.
And all of a sudden,
Oh. Right.
who should pop out?
A genie in an old Oldsmobile.
A little backfiring going on. That's the Jingle Jangle Genie.
Yes. Okay.
You know, that's where the alliteration comes in.
Right.
Jingle Jangle Genie.
Right.
He says, why are you so down in the dumps, son? And you say, I got this sound in my head. And I looked on the wall there, and all these electric 12-string guitars cost a lot of money.
Yes.
And so the Jingle Jangle Genie says, tell you what, I'm going to give you $1,000. And you go in there, and you see what you can get.
You're going to get a $1,000?
The Jingle Jangle Genie has limited funds. $1,000 is all you got.
Uh-huh.
So you go in, look around. Ooh, that one's $3,000. Ooh, that's $1,500. Ooh.
Yeah.
So it comes down to two, as it often does.
Usually.
So off in the corner there is and these are new guitars, a Gretsch 5422 12-string double cut.
I like me a double cut.
Yeah, it's an attractive guitar.
Yeah, a 5422.
A G5422.
Gretsch G5422 computer.
12. Computer. Access. 12.
Got
there
it.
you go. There you go.
Okay, so it looks like a Gretsch.
Yeah, it looks like a Gretsch. Just like one. But then...
But it's not going to have the Bigsby.
Oh, no.
Because it's a 12.
You would never put a Bigsby on it. Well, some people might. Or you might put a Kaler or something.
What in the hell is wrong with you?
That would be an interesting experiment.
Yes.
I don't think it would stay in tune real well.
Yeah.
And you say, well, that's pretty good. I can afford that one. But it's kind of half the battle, because to get Jingle Jangle, you also need Voxy Woxy. So off to the other side, there is a Squier Jazzmaster 12 solid body that you can get, and a Vox AC 15 for the same $1,000. So, would you rather have the semi-hollow 12-string Gretsch, or would you rather have the solid body Jazzmaster 12 and a Vox AC 15 for the complete package?
That is bananas. That's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
How is that?
And in this scenario, though, the Gretsch, you're just playing with the amp that you already have.
Yeah, whatever you got laying around.
What if you have an AC 30 or AC 15 laying around?
That's from my head.
Then you're all the way there.
Yeah.
You're there. You're home. You're totally home.
Yeah.
You run the regrets pedal in front of that, and man,
Okay.
you got it.
Yeah.
Ethereal Central. So would you rather have the Gretsch 12 string? Or would you rather have the Jazzmaster 12 and the Vox AC 15?
Okay. Tony, go ahead.
Well, in my book, I think it has to be a hollow body. I mean, or a
Okay.
semi-hollow body at least. And so I'm going to go with the Gretsch for that reason. And I think even if we had to run this through some amp simulator or whatever, it would still sound the
Amp
part.
simulator. What?
Yes. Yeah, like that thing you got sitting over there, that
Right.
that thing,
Okay.
that you can hear through your headphones
Yeah. Okay.
and
I got
such.
you. I got you.
That's an amp simulator,
Okay.
isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's sort of like that. So I'm going to go with that. I mean, I think the Jazzmaster 12 Squier, actually gets pretty high ratings, and it's pretty cool. I mean, it's not quite a true Fender Electric 12, but because it has the Jazzmaster pickups in it. But that, and if you don't have an AC or a Vox amp, you'd probably want to get that combination.
Yeah.
But for me, I'm going to go with the Gretsch.
Okay. Dave.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the Gretsch. I have had a regular Jazzmaster, and there's just something about it that just feels very big to me. And I never got really that comfortable playing it.
Really? But yet you said you have some Jaguars.
Yeah, the Jaguars are shorter scale.
They're shorter scale, but the same size body.
Basically the same size body, but the shorter scale, because the bodies are bigger, but the scale is shorter, the Jaguar kind of feels like a Telecaster.
Huh.
Because, it balances out in the same way.
Interesting.
The Jazzmaster being the longer scale and the bigger body, always it just felt big to me in a way that I loved how it sounded, and I'm sure that the 12 sounds great. And, you said it's a Squier, right?
Yeah, it's a Squier version.
Yeah. And one of my Jags is a Squier. I actually, the new Squier stuff, certainly the classic Vibe series, great guitars, great modding platforms.
Yep.
Not crazy expensive.
Nope.
But yeah, I think ultimately, especially being a 12 string, I think the Jazz would just feel too big to me. And I just don't think I would feel that comfortable playing it. So I would go Gretsch.
All right.
Okay, well,
Todd?
this one's easy for me because I'm not a fan of the droopy headstock thing. Number one.
You always have a problem with the droopy
I do.
headstock.
Number two, I like the idea, as you said, of this on a semi-hollow, or hollow. Is that a semi-hollow?
It's semi, yeah.
Semi-hollow.
It's got a block.
It has to have a block on it. I would like that. I think it'll feel a little bit warmer, kind of sounding.
Yeah. Well, plus with Filtertron style pickups
Yeah.
versus the Jazzmaster pickups.
Yeah. That's more my style.
All right.
Actually, the 5422, I believe, is hollow.
Oh, it's a full hollow.
I don't think that's a center block.
Oh,
It's
well, that's even better.
Cool.
although it's less jangly.
You think it's
Full
less?
hollow. Yeah, full hollow is going to be a lot more open, a lot more kind of like
Yeah.
mid-rangey and
But
warm.
I don't want it like I wouldn't want it like super bright, like super. No. Yeah, I'm sticking with the gray.
Todd actually doesn't want to go jangly.
Yeah.
I think there's a problem.
I want to go jangly, not jingly.
Yeah. Yeah, I think
Jangly, not
I mean,
jingly.
I would. That's tough. Yeah, because the Jazzmaster is actually probably better for the tone.
Mm-hmm.
But I think I would still go Gretsch just because I think I would enjoy it more.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
You know,
Fair play.
because also, I mean, you know, those Filtertrons are going to be, or what is that? Does
Yeah,
that have
Filtertron
Filtertrons
style.
in it?
Yeah, pretty much.
Filtertron style. Yeah, I mean, they're going to be a lot more kind of mid-range, upper mid-range forward too.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's just going to be a much warmer guitar and actually less chimey.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, I think I would still go.
Yep.
All right.
Me too. All right.
It's
unanimous.
It's unanimous.
Whee!
I am unanimous.
Okay, we got to thank some people.
That's right, Todd. At this point of the show, there's a special group of people we love to thank. These are our executive producers. Now, an executive producer helps make this show possible. How do you become one? Shoot over to patreon.com/the Guitar Knobs. Check out a couple different levels in which you can participate and become a sponsor, a friend, a hero, if you will, of the podcast. Each level comes with some very nice thank you gifts, opportunities to win great stuff.
Loads.
It's just unbelievable. The prize closet is just bulging at the seams. But in addition to all that great stuff, I'm told there is one thing more. What would that be?
You get to have your name read on the thing.
You get to have your name read on the thing. Thank you, Jared. So that's what I'm going to do right now. So special thanks to these executive producers: Anthony Lathrop, Brett Hogarth, Cameron Pampas, Darren Gregory, Don Kloss, Elad Mizrahi, James Bell, James White, John Esterle from Rare Buzzer Effects, John Sebastian, John Halverson, Justin Jones, Ken Sayers, Michael Senchuk, Mike Davenport, Owen Eads, Pluton, Ralph Gottschalk from Wonderful Audio Technology. What? Richard Kendall, Rick Calhoun, Rusty Sneeden, Stefan Lamb, Tom Brazen, Trevor Ellenberg, Trevor Gunberg, Vader and Pedals, Caribou Gone, Ed Rossler, Uday Ram, Andrew Fryette, and Bob Clemier. What's that, Todd? There's more?
There's more.
There's more.
Yes.
That was. Thank you.
You caught me right in the middle of a
big old yawn.
big
Am
yawn.
I
It's
keeping
like-
you up over there?
Well, no, I just no. It's been a long day.
Okay. Well, that's right, Todd, because there are
I'm
more.
sorry, I'm human.
You are not human, damn it. There's a special group of executive producers, you know. We call them our grand poobahs.
Indeed.
These are the creme de la creme, the A number ones, the top of the heaps. Tops of the heap.
Yes.
Kings, we had this
Tops
problem
of the
last
heap.
time.
It's top of the heap.
Top of the top, but there's multiple, so they'd be tops of the heap and kings of the hill.
Sure.
So yes, so always the word that comes first is plural. You see. So special thanks to these grand poobahs: Anthony Jamalero, Billy Spitfire Unlimited, Bob Crouch, Brian Robison, Cody Foster, David Kaminga, David Tyndall, Enrico Fernando, Fox Hill Studio, Gregory Randall, Hex Matos, John Williams, Martin Cliff, Matt Hart, Michael Van Zant, Michio Murakishi, Moon Guitars, Pedro Vasquez, Sam Jett, Steve Keys, James Pennington, Zach Oswald from Brandon Wound Pickups, Jonathan Labate from M2 Labs. Did I say that right?
Yeah.
LA Body, yeah. La Body. I got it.
Labadee.
Labadoo. Ty Barnes, James Castellano, and Kenny Howe.
Outstanding. Thank you all for supporting the show. Thank you for supporting the builders that come on the show.
Yes.
More importantly. So, including our friend here, Dave Jordan.
Hey, thanks, guys.
Of Non-Human Audio. You are more than welcome. Our door is always open to you, my friend. And
Dave, if somebody wants to buy some of your fine wares, where could they go?
nonhumanaudio.com.
That's easy.
That's where. But I also, I've got dealers all around the world.
Nice.
So if you check on my website, I have a dealers page where you can see other places that actually carry my stuff. So if you want to go try something out in person, there's absolutely no guarantee that every store will have every pedal at all times. But, I do work with a lot of great stores around the country and around the world. And I'm really fortunate in that regard. So, maybe there's a local store by you that you can go check something out. If not, just you're already on my website at that point. So you can buy something straight from me.
do it. I should also say that when we begin the For at the Door,
Yes.
you will have the option to try out the regrets.
Oh, isn't that special?
Yes.
Oh, and also just we talked about him before we started rolling, but shout out to Chris Vincent, R2R Electric.
Yes.
He didn't actually, that story didn't make it onto the actual podcast. So I just want to shout out to Chris.
Oh, yes. Yes.
Tell us. He actually has regrets number 1 now. So
yes.
He has no regrets.
I can tell that. I can tell that story real quick if you want.
Let's tell that story.
Yeah. Okay. So I was out in California for Woodwire Volts. That was in January. I had an extra day, so I went and I hung out with Chris at his studio. And Chris has been a huge supporter of mine. He's a good bud. We sat next to each other at Benson Fest a couple years ago. Mm-hmm. And without even playing the pedal, he wanted to buy a Slow Loris just from seeing everybody else play it all day long. Mm. And ever since then, we've been friends, and he actually has Night Creatures number 1. And I had the Regrets prototype when I went to hang out with him, and he played it and he loved it. And he was just like, I want it. He's like, I want it now. I want number 1. He's like, I'll take number 2, but I want number 1. So, and I have a thing where I actually like to send my number 1s to friends, because I know that they'll really appreciate it, and they're probably not going to try and flip it for being like a low serial number or something.
That's a special thing when you if that happens to you. Or if it has happened to you, that makes you feel pretty dang special.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I like to let people know that they're appreciated.
Yes.
And Chris was so excited about it that it was really encouraging. So so Chris has Regrets number 1. Yes, hey Chris.
Yes, we love Chris. Shout out to Chris.
Yeah, love Chris. Great.
He's been on the show about as many times.
I think so.
Come to think of it,
yeah, that's what we think. But I'll beat him. I just gotta beat him.
The competition is.
Thank you for sharing that, man.
Yeah, Chris is great. It was great to get to hang out with him and hang out in his shop, and he's got tons of great gear in there and cool stuff.
Indeed,
good guy.
All right. Well, Tony.
Yes, Todd.
Where can people send things to you in the form of money for the things that you do?
Send me the money. Send me the money.
Actually, you just made a really cool Rick style pickguard set here.
Yes.
For said me.
Yes, for you.
Yes.
For you, Todd. That's what I do. I make people happy. Go over to pickguardian.com. Check out the stuff that I do. What do I do? I make custom pickguards for guitars. How do you get one? Shoot me an email. Let me know what you need, what you're trying to do. In fact, I just did one for Chris at R2R.
Yeah.
We did the little fuzz plate that's going to be installed into a guitar itself. I think it was a double neck 612 SG style.
Yeah, that thing. I saw that picture of that. That looked awesome.
Yeah. So we did a cool engraved kind of cover plate. And so he was real happy with that.
Nice.
And but yeah, I do all kinds of crazy stuff like that. So just shoot me an email. Let me know what you're trying to do, what you need, and I'll make something special for you.
Yeah, indeed.
As Todd likes to say, it's your opportunity to make your guitar even more yours.
Correct, Mundo. You can shoot me a DM on Instagram if you want to just chat. We'd love to hear from you. I will also be giving out some specific email things regarding the Dr. No build and a couple of other things. So, in fact, I'll mention that right now. If you are interested in sharing your idea for the collaborative Dr. No build, send an email to me, todd@theguitarknobs.com, subject Dr. No. Okay? And that will be very helpful, and I can start collecting all these things because we're going to be getting together with him shortly to talk about how he wants to approach this.
Love it.
Start there. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we thank you for listening. We thank you for supporting the builders. We hope you have a fantastic guitar week. Subscribe! Yeah. There's Dave. Hey, Dave. Hey, Dave. Help me, Tony!
Like an echo kind of thing?
No, it's almost like
it sounds like a whisper of a robot. Yeah.
Yeah, you could probably use a little more gain on your side too.
Yeah, I think if you
A little bit more?
a little bit more and then just backed up off the mic a little bit.
Yeah. Like this?
Yo,
that good?
that's a lot better.
It sounds like you're sitting right here next
Holy
to us.
mackerel. How did you do that?
All right. Oh, well, I turned the gain up a little bit and backed up off the microphone.
Hire whoever told you that.
Genius.
Yeah.
Well, Tony just got his first groan in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I'm going to say, I knew it. I didn't know it. I thought I knew it. Oh, man.
Yep.
We're not even in a podcast, so
That's
you
what
can't
happens.
say, I'm going to cut that out.
I want those same people to tell me when my zipper's down.
Todd,
It's a two-way street.
Todd,
What?
your zipper's down.
Well, clearly. I mean, I tried not to look, but I did look. Doggone it.
Let's
Save this
save
for
it.
the conversation.
Yes.
Don't let Tony persuade you.
Don't you swad me at all.
Tony?
Yes.
And away we go.
Well, that's it for these knobs. Please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/theguitarknobs. Visit our website at theguitarknobs.com for all of our past episodes, 4 on the Floor blog, and other good stuff. You can connect with us on social too at our Facebook page and share your gear and stories on our Facebook group. Also, be sure to check out our Instagram at Guitar Knobs. Catch you next time.